Good afternoon, everyone. This is Calvin Russell, CEO and founder of 850 Club Credit Consultation. Hope everyone is doing well today. Today we're going to talk about a question that I've been getting fairly recently, mainly because there's a lot of talk about CPNs. And the thing about it is that with me having some experience in the auto industry, okay, I have seen people try to purchase a car or lease a car with a CPN number. So let's just go ahead and get straight into it so I can answer your question right away. Okay, so the question is, can you really buy a car with a CPN? The answer is pretty much no. Okay, now are there banks that may let things slide at the beginning? Absolutely. But once they dig a little bit deeper, okay, because again, first you have to understand what a CPN is all about, okay? And what it is that a lot of people, the easiest way to explain it is that it's technically a second social security number, okay? But again, that number is really not yours. The problem is that most CPNs that are sold to people, okay, second social security numbers, is that these are previous social security numbers that used to be owned by someone else. Now, in some cases, it's illegal because that person may still be, these are like pretty much the easiest way to say it. These are social security numbers that should not be allowed to go to the general public. Okay, so some people, they have them as, for example, some people have them, their social security numbers are supposed to go to infants at hospitals. Some people have them from people who have just passed away, okay? And there's not enough information on them, and now granted, this is not everyone. There are some CPN numbers that are, the bulk of them come from when people are, in the military, active military associates, because a lot of them have dealt with identity theft, and that's where a lot of the bulk of the CPN numbers come from. They're supposed to be used as a second social security number, but only if you've dealt with some form of identity theft, which most people are not necessarily trying to do. So some people, they're not even doing all the documentation proper beforehand, before selling the actual CPN number. Okay, so I'm going to do a video just specifically on CPNs, but after being at a dealership for 6 years, I've sold over 550 cars in less than 5 of those years. I helped out in finance a couple of times, and I was also a member of the internet management team as well too at the dealership. Okay, either way, I say that to say, when people came in with these CPN numbers, number one, banks do not like PO boxes, okay? Think about it. You're about to borrow, and first off, the CPN number doesn't have any history on it, okay? So what people will try to do, they'll add what they call a trade line to the actual CPN number, okay? So if they're going to be adding a trade line to the CPN number, the problem is that that trade lines, of course, are not necessarily yours. You're an authorized user on the actual account, okay? So think about it. If your best account is going to be an account that's not yours, okay? If your best account is going to be an account that's not yours, banks can see that. So that means without that account, you're pretty much nothing, okay? That's another thing. I'll do another video on trade lines. If you guys like trade lines, you're going to hate this video because, again, I want you guys to see things the way that the banks see them. It's not just always about, hey, I just want a quick score boost, or hey, I just want, or people looking for shortcuts. Everyone's going to be looking for different types of things, but with trade lines, you can get your own trade line without having to pay anybody. But I'll save that for another day and another video, okay? So, with or without a trade line on the CPN account is new, okay? And meaning that there's no history on it, right? Because you just bought it. Now let's just say you say, well, Calvin, what if I get the CPN number and I wait a year and I build credit history up? Why are you spending that much time building up a CPN number when you could be building your own credit, okay? Either way, banks are not stupid, okay? So once they give you, number one, the number one thing with a CPN number, most of them that I've seen, you have to have a PO box number, okay? If you have to have a PO box number, the problem is that banks that first off, let's look at the bank situation. They're going to be letting you, number one, they're going to be letting you pay on a car. Okay, let's say a $10,000 car. Okay, they'll be letting you pay on a $10,000 car with no history of paying anybody else, because again, the CPN number has no history. Okay, number two, most CPN numbers are going to you have, in order to create them, you have to have a PO box. That's where that gray line comes in when people say that they're legal. They're legal, but they're not used. They're not supposed to be used for consumers that don't have any active fraud or active identity theft situations going on right now. The CPN number is to show proof that they really are themselves and that they can use their original credit. That's what they're supposed to be used for. Okay, so if you have a PO box associated with your CPN number, that's a flag. Why? Because number one, banks don't like PO boxes anyway when they're lending you something. Okay, it's just as simple. In short, they want to know where their car is. Okay, so that's the thing. So the first thing is, of course, you know, the CPN number has no history. So you have no history of paying anybody on time. So for example, people say, well, I got a CPN number because I got a previous repossession. Okay, in 2008, a lot of people lost their homes. A lot of those same people have homes today. Okay, you're looking at someone right now. I lost my car on my 21st birthday. Okay, so I bought a brand new car, like, you know, a couple years later. Like, no, not a couple years later, like maybe like 5 years later. But in between that time, I still was making payments on another car that I had gotten. But I had got a brand new one not too long after that. My point is, banks don't too much care about negative history. They care about recent negative history within the last 3 months, 6 months, last year. But if you've done something recently that's positive, that does play a role. Okay, so in short, have I seen people get approved for an auto loan, you know, with the CPN number? The ones that I did, the few had to bring the car back, because once the banks did a lot more research, they said, okay, clearly this person just has a social security number that's not theirs, okay, for an identity theft purpose or a fraud purpose. They're just pretty much just trying to get, you know, an auto loan, and they always have them come back. In 6 years, I've yet to see one person go to a franchise dealership where, now you probably go to a mud lot, you know, one of these places that just sell used cars, and they just want to try to trick the bank. Because again, if you got a sketchy person working at a, you know, going to a sketchy dealership, then you have the dealership backing you up, you know, and everything's formulated. It's all fabricated. Okay, it's all fraud just to try to, you know, get a car. That does not fix the issue. That puts a band-aid on a bullet wound, guys. So you cannot buy a car accurately and correctly with the CPN number. It's not worth the risk. Why go to a dealership, spend all day there, get approved just to take the car back? Okay, you know, the problem is that CPN numbers have become the new hype. A lot of people like shortcuts. Let's be honest. They want microwave credit score success. And the problem is that if you're looking to get a credit card, you know, that's another example. Capital One, one of the nation's largest, okay, credit card distributors, is also one of the nation's largest subprime market. That's another thing. CPNs with very small history, 9 times out of 10, are going to be in the subprime market because there's not much history there on previous auto loans. There's no previous auto loan trade lines, just so you know. Can't do that, okay? Either way, so with that being said, Capital One, they frown upon, okay? They frown upon PO boxes in general, okay? First off, Capital One doesn't even allow, I just checked on this like 2 days ago, they don't even allow PO boxes when you're trying to get a credit card. Okay, so that's the thing, because they know that it's too much fraud going on. People that are doing things bigger than CPNs. Again, CPNs are technically not illegal, but because they're only made for people that have identity theft happen to them, or fraud that happen to them, which most people don't, that get them. Okay, that's when they use them for. That's where it kind of opens up a gray area that they're illegal. Now, there's some articles online about FBI saying that there's illegal things of that sort. I'm not going against what they're saying. I'm just saying that it's so many news articles that people just type up and you don't know what's real. I'm just letting you know listen, legal or illegal, real or not real, the banks are not buying them, okay? They just not buying them because there's too much risk involved. Think about it. Even if a person uses a CPN for what they're really supposed to use it for, they still want you to use your original social because they want to know where the history is. Just so you know, Bad credit is better than no credit. Here's why. Bad credit shows that at some point in your credit life, you were good enough originally to get approved for the repossession before it was a repossession, the house before it was a foreclosure, the credit card before it was a charge off, things like that. That's good history along the way prior to that. So bad credit is always better than no credit at all, because there's always a reason why a bank doesn't want to give you credit. So hope that helped you guys. Listen, I apologize if I burst your bubble, but again, a lot of times when people talk about CPNs, they're probably trying to sell you one, or they're just giving their, expert advice. Okay, I'm not saying that people are not experts. I worked at the dealership for 6 years. I'm telling you, nobody never successfully bought a car. Okay, I worked at a Nissan dealership, so that means it wasn't like, an off-brand or whatever. We dealt with a lot of different clients, a lot of different ages, backgrounds, races, you name it. And I'm telling you, it just didn't happen, okay? So if you like this video, give it a like. If you want to subscribe to more videos just like this, hit the subscribe button. And of course, if you know someone that's had this question, please share it with them. I'm telling you, that way they can just see it in the shortest way possible. So thank you guys so much. Have a great day.